This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we are your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And we're continuing the spookiest, ookiest, creepiest, most psychologically torturing arc so far that we've probably covered so far, and we're loving it. It is the wonderful show of Moville Mysteries.
Yes.
And Grace is finishing her episodes of our 8-episode arc today, which means we are only 2 episodes away, including today, from the end of this wonderful arc, and before we move on to a new one.
Yep,
so
we are.
Grace, can't wait to hear your final thoughts on the show, or at least, from your story. Obviously, I'm sure you will have a lot to say in response to my episode next week.
Yes.
Until then, take us away.
Okay. Yes, it's funny that you mentioned kind of the themes of this show, the vibe of this show. Ooky, spooky, psychological torture, scary stuff, psychological torture, curses, psychological torture.
And psychological torture.
Oh yeah, that one. I don't think we mentioned that. That one.
Yeah.
With every episode, we seem to really lean more into it. And this is indeed fits that bill. This is actually my favorite episode of the ones that I have done. Really leans in to the theme. So today, I'm going to be doing season 1, episode 10, which is called The Novelty Kid. So we start out at our Ouija Falls Lone Pine High, which is the high school that all of our characters go to. This episode, kind of like your previous one, is Mo is the narrator mainly during the episode, providing some great fourth wall breaking voiceover. But it really focuses, on a different kid. But Mo introduces this kid, this fellow classmate, with, as usual, an iconic line from Moville here. And he says, in high school, you're either predator or prey, host or parasite. And speaking of parasites, and we see our star kid of this episode, the aforementioned parasite, Norman, walk into the cafeteria.
Oh, Norman. Interesting. Okay.
Norman, yes. So Norman here, he is, light blue skin. He's got a really wide square jaw. He's kind of got like an overbite situation. His teeth kind of like poke out a little bit. He's got a big forehead like Mo, but not quite as blocky as Mo is. Okay. He's got dark blue hair. He's kind of got like the early 2000s skater boy fit going on, a little kind of floppier hair. He's got, jeans, a jacket over a sweatshirt situation. And we see him walk into the cafeteria and slip behind a vending machine as another character that we've mentioned before but hasn't really appeared in our episodes yet walks in, and that is BB. So BB, we mentioned him in like the first episode, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe on like the Wikipedia.
He wasn't even in it, but you just described him. And I have been wondering, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Because he's not in my last episode either. Yeah. So I'm doing next week. So I was like, damn, I can't not cover him.
The Wikipedia writer just loves BB and like,
yeah, I think he is in more episodes. We just so happen to choose 7 that he's not in.
Exactly. I think that is true. Yes. So BB, he's real short and skinny. He's got like a really big head with just like one tuft of brown hair and really thick eyebrows. He's wearing a thick turtleneck, a long trench coat. He's got thick glasses. He's another kid in our high school. And as we had described in the first episode based on Wikipedia, BB is our conspiracy theorist of this show. He is all about aliens, government conspiracies, UFOs. et cetera, which is
You
wild
name
that,
it. Yeah.
yeah, this town of Ouija Falls, which is the creepiest town in the world, is like, oh, but BB?
That he's a pariah. Yeah, he's like taboo
Yeah,
somehow, where that's like the most normal thing there. I want to believe that him and Mo are very good friends, but I feel
they
like they're
are.
not. They are
No,
okay,
they
good.
are.
I was like, why don't we see
Yes.
him more? Okay, good,
Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah. So I think that's why he was probably mentioned in the Wikipedia because, like, in this episode, he kind of appears as like the fourth member of like the
Oh,
friendship
cool.
gang. And,
Yeah.
I guess maybe in the other episodes, he's just off making some conspiracies, making some tinfoil
He's
hats.
making a tinfoil hat in his basement. Exactly.
So he's too busy sometimes.
Yeah.
So
He's
BB is
going through too much red yarn.
exactly. They were like, no, BB, we're investigating an actual paranormal phenomenon, not a made up one, BB.
Throws all the shit right
Yeah, exactly.
outside. Yeah,
That'll keep
he's
him
already
busy for a
there.
little.
Yeah.
So BB is walking into the cafeteria and he's heading up to the vending machine to get a little soda. And as he does, Norman jumps out from behind the vending machine, but not in like a
Mm.
boo, scary way, but in like a, oh, hey, BB, I didn't even notice you walking in. What's going on, man?
The
Um,
used car man sales. The used car
like,
salesman. Yeah.
yes, just like a parasite, if you
Yes.
will. These
Nice.
are same thing. No offense to all you used car salesmen out there who are
Yeah.
definitely listening. The
Yes,
lost
and
demographic.
100%. Yeah, our lots. Yeah. We're
One of
collecting
the
them
many.
like Thanos's freaking Infinity Stones.
Exactly.
You got
Putting them
the
into our little
anyway.
glove here.
Yeah.
So BB like screams back for a second because he's, BB's always on edge, let's say.
Yeah.
BB's always ready
They're
for
watching.
the next. Literally, he was like, like put his like fisticuffs up. But he knows Norman, so he chills out for a second. And Norman's like, "Hey man, would you mind like lending me a quarter or two so like I can get a soda as well?" And BB's like, "No, Norman, you already owe me $2. Like I'm not gonna give you more money." And
Yeah.
Norman is like, "You're right, you're right. I was asking for 50 cents. Let's just round it up, give me a whole dollar, and I'll owe you $3." And Norman is like, dude, no, what are you talking about? That's not how this works. And Norman is like, man, I'm getting my allowance tonight. I'll pay you back tomorrow. I got you.
Okay.
So BB is like, fine, here's a quarter. He's pretty annoyed. He gets his soda and gets ready to walk away, but Norman takes his soda from him and is like, "Oh, thanks for grabbing this for me, man. I'll pay you back tomorrow." And he walks out of the cafeteria, leaving
Mhm.
BB there $1 less and a soda less.
Yeah.
So he's this kind of kid. As he walks out, Norman runs into Hitch, and Hitch stops him in the hall and holds out an IOU for $5. And Norman is like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you your $4 back tomorrow." And
Oh
Hitch is
boy.
like, "Excuse me, this says 5." And Norman is like, "Oh yeah, I said 5. I getting my allowance tonight. I definitely said 5. $5, yes, for sure."
Right. Uh-oh.
Yep. And we hear Mo here as Norman walks by him. Mo is watching this in the hall. And Mo explains to the audience here that Norman, he's kind of got a cash flow system going. It's flowing from your pockets to Norman's pockets.
Yes.
And as Mo is explaining this to us, dear viewers, he gets distracted for a second because the janitor of the school, who we've seen a couple times, he's, just an older dude with real thick rimmed glasses. He is,
Mhm.
used to the craziness of this school, such as
Yeah.
possessed
Throwing
recliners,
cursed things
full
into
of dengue fever,
yeah.
the usual. He is actually he's in the hallway, like in the locker area, and he's got like a welder or something like that. But basically he is breaking open a locker, like the lock off of a locker.
Mm.
And all of the kids start to gather to watch this happening. Everyone's really excited. This is a big event because this was the locker of a kid at the school who was a new kid. But he wasn't there for very long, and no one has been able to open the locker. And so they're all stoked to finally open it. And the reason they're excited to open it is because there's a rumor about this locker. that has to do with what happened with the new kid when he was at the school. So we get a little flashback here. And Mo explains that this new kid, no one really liked. Like, he was new. I'm sure he was trying to make a stake for himself. So he was a little bit of a prankster. And
Um,
we get this montage of it started out with little things, and then we see him flipping through a magazine and he's ordering the little hand buzzer things and pulling that prank on everyone. He's ordering whoopee cushions and putting them on all the chairs. All of his pranks are escalating and escalating more and more. And all of the kids, including Mo, Hitch, and Mimi, are all getting sick of this new kid's shit. Until
mhm.
one day, the new kid just didn't come to school anymore. And the rumor that spread around the school is that some of the kids got so sick of this new kid that they stuffed him inside his locker, the very locker that the janitor is currently opening,
Yeah.
where he perished. And
Oh, wow.
we see in this flashback, like on the locker, sunrise, moonrise, sunrise, moonrise, and the locker is like banging, and then slowly it stops
Stops
banging
banging.
after days and weeks and weeks of the sun and moon, implying that this kid died in his locker
He's
in this
dead
school. Um,
because of
and
bullying.
because of bullying, right? Because he was being a
Wow.
prankster, and the bullies, they were one step up from Hannah in your
Yeah.
last episode. They were
Yeah.
like, we've learned our lesson from just ignoring the bully. We have to kill them instead.
Now we have to
This,
kill them. We have
this
to
prankster
erase
didn't
them
have a,
from our existence.
yeah,
That's the
this
ultimate way of
Yeah,
ignoring.
this kid didn't have a wholesome lesson. This prankster didn't have a wholesome turn of heart like Hannah in your last episode did. So instead, they
Wow.
murdered him.
Okay,
Um,
fair.
yes. So yeah, we just low key saw a child die in this children's show. Like we
Yeah.
say,
And
parents,
then
are you gone?
and in 100 years, someone will come and unlock, or 200 years, I mean, someone will come and open the locker, and then it'll be like the Funky Phantom, right?
They'll be all
Right?
fine and they'll solve mysteries, and it'll
Solve
be
mysteries.
totally not horribly depressing to
Totally
witness a child
fine.
die.
Yes.
So, yes, everyone is crowding around. This is the talk of the hallway right now. Everyone basically is like, are we about to see a dead body? Let's go.
Larry's
Um,
up there from last
yeah,
week.
exactly. Larry is like my second one, baby.
Yeah.
But even if Larry from last week was there, Norman pushes his way to the front of the crowd and says, maybe even worse than Larry, he says, I call whatever's in there.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if he wants,
Insensitive.
yeah, the mummified remains, if he just wants whatever shit this kid had, like his little
Yeah.
pranks. He just wants, he just wants things all the time. So the locker opens, and while it is stinky, there is no body. Thank
Oh,
God.
good.
Could have
Okay. I was
disintegrated. We
like,
don't, we
do
don't
not
know.
take it there.
Yeah. They're like, we won't show you an old lady's funeral last episode, but we will show you a crumbling, decaying child's body.
A child's body,
Yeah.
exactly.
But no. Luckily, again, there was someone in the editor room who said, maybe not. We want to
Yeah,
have a second season.
we'll pump the brakes right there.
Yeah, well, there's no dumb questions, but we'll
Yeah.
we'll couch that one for now.
Yeah.
So, they all of the kids are disappointed in this crowd, and everyone like groans and walks away because everyone
Damn.
this was like a Stand By Me situation. Like, we're gonna go find a dead
Yeah.
body
Yeah. Everyone, all
moment.
of us together, the entire
Yeah.
school.
Let's do the collective trauma, everyone. Get over to this
Yeah.
locker right now. So instead, yes, they're disappointed, and all that is in there is, yes, a couple of like the pranking toys and things that this new kid had, a pair of like, 3D glasses type of thing, and a comic book. And BB looks at the comic book. BB's also gives off, his little nerd kind of kid. And he
Mhm.
gasps because it is a first issue collector's item of a comic book called Voodoo. And the cover
Oh,
of it has like a voodoo priest type of thing, like raising skeletons from the dead. And the
Wow.
back of it has a bunch of like ads, like the back cover or whatever, has a bunch of ads for all of those prank items that the new kid was
Yeah.
always buying. So we see the whoopee cushions and the hand buzzer and like a bunch of other toys and that kind of stuff on it. And Hitch like grabs the pair of X-ray glasses because they look like 3D glasses. So he's like, hell yeah, I want
Yeah, I
these,
needed a new pair.
obviously. Yep.
Yeah.
And we also saw that the X-ray glasses were one of the toys on the back of this comic book.
Mm.
But Norman, seeing that people want something, grabs both the comic book and the glasses right out of their hands, and says, I told you I called what's in the locker. Yeah, parasite,
Yes.
as Mo said.
Never wants to do
Um,
any work for himself.
Never wants to do anywhere for himself. He is just sucking everyone's blood right now, basically,
Yep.
feeding off of them. And he's like, all right, these glasses seem useless, but BB said that this collector's edition was valuable, so I'm gonna keep this comic book. He like throws the glasses into the trash, which like Hitch wanted them, so
Yeah, what the
fucking
hell? That's
rude.
mean. Just give him back to Hitch. Yeah.
Yeah, don't just take them and throw them out. So he's also wasteful, we're seeing,
Yes.
notably.
The biggest red flag.
Exactly. And he keeps the comic book to go sell. And we see a little later in the day, everyone, is like dispersed and gone on with their day. We see BB walking over to go to the bathroom in the school, but Gizzard, our high school main bully, apparently one of his shticks, one of his side hustles is to charge a bathroom tax, and you can't use the bathroom unless you pay him first.
Got
So
it.
Gizzard is a mob boss essentially in this
Essentially,
school.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bathroom is his turf.
Turf, exactly. Keep that in mind for about 8 seconds.
Oh, oh God.
Because
Okay.
BB is like, Gizzard, I'm so sorry. I have to go so bad, but like, I can't pay you today. Norman took all my money. And we
Mm.
hear Mo's voiceover here saying, Gizzard doesn't like to share his prey or his territory. It's
Ah,
the law of the
nice.
jungle. So we see Gizzard, like the vein, like pulsing in his big bald head,
Oh,
him
yeah.
growing angrier, and him storming off to go beat the shit out of Norman for
Oh.
bullying someone else, basically, and gonna go get the money from Norman. So
Oh,
Gizzard is
interesting.
vigilante justice in
He
this
is.
high school.
Wow. He
Yeah.
is. He's like, hold that thought, BB. I'll go
Hold
beat the
on.
shit out of him.
Again,
I'll get your
mob
money back
boss.
from you. Yes,
Yeah.
literally.
I'm going to get my money one way or another here.
Exactly.
So we see him storming off through the halls to find Norman, who, of course, hears Gizzard coming, and he jumps into a trash can that he had been standing by to hide from Gizzard.
Mm.
And in the trash can that Norman just leapt into, scared for his life, because he's also scared of Gizzard, as he should be.
Yes. Yes.
The X-ray glasses that he had tossed in there fall onto his face, and we see that, I know, one, fucking nasty. This is a
Gross.
high school trash can.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're
Ew.
throwing in
Those things
there?
always smell awful.
Yeah, it's
Like in
horrible.
particular, high school and grade school trash cans. Like,
Yeah,
oh, what are
just
these
who
kids
the fuck
eating?
knows what's in there?
Yeah.
But we see that these nasty ass now X-ray glasses work. He like pokes his
Oh.
head out and he can literally see like Gizzard's skeleton, and can see through all of the lockers and all of that kind of stuff. And Gizzard just walks right by him, storming off, still trying to find him. This, of course, makes Norman laugh because he was like, one, I just tricked Gizzard. He didn't come whoop the shit out of me. And two, like, hilarious. These glasses actually work. Like, this is
Yeah.
going to be so great. I'm going to be able to do so much shit with
I'm
this.
gonna
I don't know
prank
what
the
yet.
shit out of people. Yeah.
Exactly. But I'm going to do something good with these. Good for me, Norman.
I'm
which is
going
the
to
only-
abuse the power of these
Yeah.
glasses like you've never seen before.
Yeah. Oh, you think that prankster had ideas? Amateur hour
Just,
is what
just you
Norman's
wait and
thinking.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just you wait, everybody. So, a second of karma, I will say, happens, which is
Good.
as he's laughing, Norman, he makes the trash can tumble down the stairs, and entirely,
good.
yes, exactly, fly
He's
out
in
of
it
it.
still. Good.
Yes, he was in it. Yeah, he was in it, but at the bottom of the stairs, he flies out and looks like all broken. And I can't remember exactly what Mo said, but basically he was just like, this is a once in a lifetime chance. It's not often that you get to corner your high school like extortionist and you see all these kids run up to him and like holding up IOUs and that kind of stuff because Norman can't slip
Oh,
away from them now. But
yeah.
Norman, who's like,
Rent is due, my buddy.
exactly, the landlords have come to get their
Yeah.
payback. The bank has arrived, and
Yes.
Norman, though, who's like low-key broken on the ground, is like, sorry, y'all,
You
I'm
wouldn't hurt
broke.
to, yeah, literally and
Hmm.
figuratively. You wouldn't
Exactly.
hurt a poor broken boy, would you?
That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
You're going to kick me while I'm down. How could you?
Oh, what an asshole.
Yeah, truly.
I'd be like, yeah, now's the best time to do it. Shake him, boy, shake him down.
Yeah, he literally can't run. Oh, he already has a couple of bones broken. What's a couple more?
Perfect.
Gizzard.
We'll send you over your deductible, kid.
Exactly. Who's gonna know these couple shin bones broken, finger bones broken are from the other kids, not this
Right.
tragic accident in the halls. But
Yes.
he's able to convince everyone, sorry, I'll get you tomorrow, which seems to be his go-to line. I'm getting my allowance. I
Mhm.
got you tomorrow.
It's always tomorrow.
Um, but Mimi, Mo, and Hitch are some of the ones who come back over. The X-ray glasses also in the tumble fall, or not fall, they break when he had
Oh.
fallen out and that kind of stuff. So like they're kind of useless now.
Mhm.
And Norman is pretty upset about the X-ray glasses breaking because again, like we just said, he had grand plans immediately for this little toy he had. Um, and BB is like, bro, like this is what you're upset about. Like they're just some dinky ass glasses. And he grabs the comic book from Norman's pocket and shows him the back, being like, these are just toys. BB literally says he's like pointing to the back of it, which also like the other toys on the back, it's like, a voodoo doll head, because again, like the comic is like a voodoo
Mm.
themed comic book,
Yeah.
the whoopee cushion, hand buzzards, a bunch of other like gag gifts and like small little plastic dinky toys and stuff. And BB literally says, Norman, those glasses are just some novelty gag, obviously part of a wide ranging conspiracy to con kids out of their allowances,
Mm.
which,
He's not.
true, not wrong.
He's not wrong at all.
Yep. And Norman realizes seeing this, he's like, oh, I can buy the X-ray glasses again because I know they work. So he yanks the comic book out of BB's hands, happy that he can continue whatever plot he was starting to formulate with this, yes, newfound power.
Mhm.
So at home that night at Norman's home, he's, calling on the family landline there. The number provided on the back of the comic book, which we see is for Ace Novelty Company. So
Okay.
he calls the 1-800 number. We've got an automated phone menu that says, press, welcome to Ace Novelty Company. Press 1 to purchase now. Press 2 to hear about our buy now, pay later plan.
Oh God. No. He's like, this was made for me.
Why don't you just call this the Norman Novelty Company,
I
baby?
know. Yeah.
This is the Norman plan. Buy now,
Like,
pay
I'm about
later.
to buy your company and pay for it
Pay
later.
later. He says, this is a music to my, I didn't know my schemes had a proper name,
Yeah.
but they do. So, yeah, as you can probably assume, he hits number 2 without hesitation.
Hmm.
Yes, and orders some new X-ray glasses for himself, which we see get delivered, by the Ace Novelty Company. And so Norman, he's walking around town, sporting them, scheming, seeing what he can get up to. And he pops into, like a local corner store or something like that. And this local store is having, one of those like I know like local competitions where like if you pick the, soda bottle that has, it's like a
Oh,
golden
Willy
ticket
Wonka
situation.
style. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Thank
Or
you.
aka more relevantly, the Slurm Factory
Yes,
in
it's much more
Futurama.
slurm style
Yes.
here. So yes, if you pick the bottle that has a special cap on the inside or like note on the inside, you win just like a prize money package, basically. So
Hmm.
Norman, he walks up to this and he notices he can see inside the bottles. He can see what's
Hmm.
inside those lids. And happens to grab a couple of those winners.
Literally what happened in the Futurama episode.
Exactly. Hey, I think this one came first. 2000. Wait,
I
no, when did
think
Futurama
so.
start?
2001, but or
Oh,
no, yeah, 2000 and sorry, 2000, March
all
2000.
right. So
But
this came second.
that wasn't the first episode, the first season though. That I think that
Yeah, it was
episode
later
came out
on.
2001 and
Whatever.
2002.
Either
So
way,
I mean, it's like that's a
Slurpee.
pretty common idea.
Common.
Like that's an easy idea to come up with as a writer, I think.
Yeah,
No shade to
get a
these
power to
writers, but
see
like
inside of something, see inside of it,
win the
win
winning
big.
ticket.
Yep,
Exactly.
exactly. Which I'm so sorry. As a total side note, I should have written this down, including where I listened to this. I think it was on a My Favorite Murder episode. But did you know that there was this huge, I think it was the McDonald's Monopoly scandal where like
Oh
McDonald's used to have
no.
like a competition where like you'd get the little
On
Monopoly
the
pieces and you could
fries.
win money type of
Yeah, you
thing.
get the little, yeah.
And it ended up being this huge like fraudster scandal where someone who was involved with like the manufacturing, or no, it was the marketing company, would steal the winning tickets and then let his like cousin's car mechanic win, and the car mechanic would get $5,000 and they would take the rest. And it went on for years, and like the FBI had to
What?
get involved. It was That's the thing that happened. So
Wow.
anyways,
And
real
not to
life
keep that
version.
tangent going but just real quick, I will say that shit always made me so mad growing up too, because you try to collect them. You try
Yeah.
to get all the pieces that you
Yes.
need, all the little sticker things on the fries, and I think on the
And
drinks
guess what?
sometimes too,
It didn't
whatever.
fucking
It was
matter.
all it was all a scheme, an embezzlement
Yes,
and fraud scheme.
literally. And like McDonald's
So
didn't
that
even
one
know.
marketing executive, advertising executive could give kickbacks to their
He was
friends and family,
literally
of
pocketing
course.
it at all. And like, yeah, it's a wild
Classic
story. So
capitalism. Yeah, actually, that's like
classic.
anti-capitalist.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's
He's
actually not at all
Robin
capitalist.
Hooding
It's all,
himself.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that's a wild story. And basically Norman is like, I could do that one day. Let's start with small potatoes at my corner store, build up
Hmm.
to
Norman's
multi-million
taking
dollar,
notes,
yeah,
taking notes. Yes.
federal felony scheme here.
Yes.
So anyways, yeah, Norman's onto something. And we see that in this corner store as well is BB, who sees this happen.
Mm,
Sees Norman with x-ray glasses, looking closely at the bottles. Hilariously, BB is actively reading a UFO magazine. It's got a bunch of aliens and
of
spaceships on the
course.
cover.
Of course.
Yeah.
Casual. Light
Yeah, like
reading for him.
in the corner with his trench coat up. Um,
He's the
but
trench coat, though.
yeah, the trench coat is a must for BB. Everyone else is in like shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah,
Not
it's
BB.
like
He's
middle of summer.
sweating.
Yeah.
It's worth it though.
Um,
So Norman takes note of this and does know a little bit of sleuth and a little bit of following Norman around because he's now popping corner store and winning like literal wheelbarrows full of cash. So
mm.
at school, BB tells Mo and Hitch about what he saw. Mo and Hitch are like, BB, are you sure? And BB is like, yeah, I am sure I just saw this happen.
That like doesn't seem like an unrealistic thing at
Yeah,
all.
this
Why would you
shitty
doubt
kid
that?
found a way to take money for free with no work. Yeah,
Yeah, this who has been swindling us all for like all of high school so far. You guys
yeah,
already shouldn't trust this guy. Why is this
yeah.
like
You
so
don't
hard to
think
believe,
he's
Mo and Hitch?
a swindler to his core? That's all
Yeah.
Norman is. But because Mo and Hitch aren't so sure, BB is like, fine, I don't fucking need you guys. And BB starts running through the halls saying, Norman's loaded, which, like, pretty
Dang.
smart. Like,
Yikes. It's like
30
throwing chum in
kids,
shark-infested waters.
30 kids bomb rush Norman.
Yeah.
Literally shark infested waters here. They all have IOU notes. And then hilariously, BB continues to just like yell about what he saw, which is like, I know what I saw. kind of thing, which is not making BB look
I'm
the
not
best.
crazy.
Yeah. And even more so, again, BB's not helping his case here because Norman is like, whoa, 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 what are you guys talking about? You guys are listening to BB? BB, are you hallucinating again?
Oh no.
And everyone's like, ah, BB was the
Wait,
one
that's
yelling
right.
it. Like, God damn it. And they all put their
Nobody
like,
vetted these claims.
yo, I thought it was Hitch yelling it. It was BB. Fuck. All right.
Damn it.
Never
Fine.
mind. And they
Sorry,
all,
Norman.
yeah, sorry for accusing you, Norman. Our bad, our bad. And he's like, I'll get you tomorrow. So they all put their notes away and
Damn.
leave him alone. BB, though, he knows what he saw. He's fucking out for blood and his
Mhm.
$3, getting
Mhm.
that
And his
shit back, and his
reputation.
soda, and his reputation.
Yeah.
That could be gone by now. I think he's let that
Yeah.
go.
Well, he wants some people to listen to him. He's like, I just need like
That's
my
true.
two
A
followers
couple. I
still. No
need
one
like
Hitch
the
won't
AV
even believe
club
me.
to be on
Yeah.
board with me at least. That feels like a
Yeah.
place that they'd be on board. So, at home, back at Norman's house, Norman is
Mhm.
literally just sitting on piles and piles of cash from all these winnings.
Mhm.
But he's a little nervous because, like, he knows BB could, like, actually out him at this point. He's like, all
Yeah.
right, BB's onto my scheme. And, like, once BB gets, a theory in his head, BB don't
That
stop.
dog will
BB,
hunt.
yeah, so that doggone hunt, that BB doggone hunt. And so Norman looks on the back of this comic book again at the Ace Novelty Company, like toys and stuff, and he sees a piggy bank of some variety. It's basically a lockbox that has like a terrifying like zombie arm on top of it that will like
Ooh.
scoop your money into the box.
Oh, actually kind of
Um
cool.
yeah, it's like it's pretty cool. It fits with like again, there's like a voodoo doll on
Definitely
the
you get that at
head.
like Hot Topic or Spencer's Gifts or
Yes, a
something.
thousand
Yeah.
percent. And so, it's advertised as like, keep all your treasures safe. So we see Norman again on the phone, pressing two, buy now, pay later,
Mhm.
getting the lockbox thing. And we see him in his room giving giving like that arm all of the cash and it's scooping into the lockbox. But as he's doing this, Norman notices movement outside his window.
Uh-oh.
And so he looks and we see BB watching from behind the bushes.
Not at all weird. Normal. Let it happen,
Honestly,
Norman.
most of the kids in this town are probably just like, you want a lemonade while you're out there? What you
Yeah,
hunting this
right.
time?
You need a chair? Did you forget your chair again?
Baby, we keep it in the back shed. Make yourself comfy.
Yeah.
But Norman, not so chill as the other kids in this town. He already, again, was a little worried about BB getting
Yeah.
the upper hand
Yeah.
here. So Norman like jumps back and shuts the blinds so BB can't see into his
Mhm.
room. Norman's sweating a little bit. He's a little worried that BB again he really goes all in here. And then he hears a noise in the hallway outside of his bedroom. And even though all we see is his Norman's dad just, walking by in the hall, Norman leaps across the bed and slams the door shut. He's
Mhm.
really sweating now, and he's starting to mutter to himself, spies, spies, they're everywhere.
Oh no, he's starting to sound like BB.
He is on a slippery slope that ends
Yeah.
in BB Town, if you will.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep himself safe at this point. He's like, all right, yeah, BB's on the case. Who knows what BB can do? He's sending spies. My dad's a turncoat probably at this point. I got my money safe in the lockbox. How am I going to keep myself safe though? And again, on the Ace Novelty Company ad, we see the mini mercenary fighting men, aka, like those little green plastic soldiers, like
Oh yeah.
toys, like in Toy Story
Yeah.
and just like in general, that kind of stuff. They're advertised on the back. And so he
Gotcha.
rapidly orders tons of them. Um, when the package comes this time from Ace Novelty Company, Norman at this point, he's smiling, but he's shaking a little bit. He's like, okay, all right, they've arrived. My protection's here. My protection's here. And
All
we
right.
see the casual observer, the not distracted by perhaps a growing paranoia,
Yes.
we see a little note on the corner of this box that says in red, payment overdue. Norman has no concept of what that means. Again, that must be some other phrase, just like buy now, pay later. He wasn't attuned to. He has
He
no idea
thought
what
later
payment
meant
due
like
later when I felt
later.
like it.
Yeah, like later, not now,
Not
later.
now. Like later is still
On
later
my
because now is
terms.
right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how can now be later?
Exactly.
It can't be.
It can't be.
That's not possible. So in his room, Norman starts setting up all of these mercenary soldiers. They got some tanks and that kind of stuff. And Norman is starting to give them instructions about, protecting the lockbox, protecting his room, protecting him. He salutes all these little soldiers, and we see the soldiers salute back and
Oh.
start to march into formation in the
Hmm.
various orders that he gave them.
Hmm.
And seeing this, Norman is like, perfect. No one can touch me now. Now I'm
Okay, he's not freaking
invincible.
out, panicking at his toys coming alive in front of him. He
No,
is
he's like,
happy.
this
Yeah.
is what I didn't
I
pay for.
wanted. Yeah.
This is what someone else,
Nice. The
future me,
price
will
of
pay
free
for.
goods. Yeah.
Exactly. This is exactly what I ordered. So the next morning, Norman is, off to school, but he's not just walking to school. He is like bobbing and weaving behind every bush, behind every tree, looking around every corner. He's
Spies
a
everywhere.
little spies everywhere, including Hitch, who catches him
Mm.
on the street and is like, bro, pay up. Like, I need this $5 you owe me now. And
Yeah.
similar to what we were just saying 5 seconds ago ish, Norman was like, I said tomorrow. I'll get you back tomorrow. And Hitch was like, yeah, you said that yesterday. To which Norman says, yeah, but now it's today. That's not tomorrow. And Hitch is
Tomorrow.
like, clearly, the meme of doing math
Yeah,
everywhere,
the
floating equations.
calculation.
But Hitch does figure it out and he says, no, today was yesterday, is tomorrow means today means you owe me $5. And
Sure.
Norman, I don't know, he comes up with some way to get out of it and bolts off, leaving Hitch pissed, but not alone because who emerges from the bushes but BB,
Ah, of course.
who was
He was
watching
already in there.
the whole time, posted up on Norman's street. And BB is like, all right, Norman is so full of shit. I'm going to prove it without a doubt. And now, Hitch, you are my witness. I know where the money is. It's in his room. Let's go.
Mm.
Unless you think that BB is some, I don't know, amateur, like conspiracy theorist who's just going to break into someone's house and look through their room. No, 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 no. BB, this is not his first time. They walk up to the front door and BB reaches right into the mail, which, side note, has a couple envelopes in there addressed to Norman from Ace Novelty Company that say overdue and payment due
Hmm.
on them. And BB knocks on the front door. Norman's dad opens it, and BB says, hey, we have some mail from school for Norman. See, his name's on it. We'll just go put it in his room for him because we're such good
Oh,
classmates. And his dad's like, all right, I gotta get to
sure.
work. Sure, what? I
Yeah.
don't care about this fucking kid.
Lock the door on your way out.
Yeah,
Fucking including my own.
yeah, exactly. So, again, BB, he's not getting in trouble for other things. He's scheming, he's
He
plotting. He
knows. Yeah,
gets he gets
he's
welcomed
the
into the home.
spy. He's the
He
spy who
is.
is everywhere.
Truly, BB is everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, everything everywhere all at once. BB.
It's BB.
Yep. So, yes, they go into his bedroom to drop off all of those overdue payment envelopes, which they just toss on the desk.
Hmm.
But they go into the room and
Uh-oh.
there's no lockbox. There's just a bunch of toy soldiers everywhere. And Hitch is like, bro, even if he had all this money, he clearly has just been buying like a bunch of junk toys on this. Like
Hmm.
from that dumb comic book, like yeah, maybe he had money. This bitch spent that money immediately. So
Yeah.
They're disappointed, but
You made me
still angry
break into
because they're
here for
like,
nothing.
yeah, exactly. And like a little bit mad still because they're like, okay, so he did have the money
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
and
And didn't pay us back with it.
and didn't pay us back. So they get to school, and of course, they start fucking telling everyone. And again, a witness is
Hmm.
here now, Hitch, who's a little more reliable than
Yeah.
BB. So the kids again start ganging up on Norman, demanding their cash, showing all their IOUs. And this time, instead
Hmm.
of our calm, cool, collected Norman, who's usually like, hey man, I'm getting my allowance tonight. Like, I got you tomorrow. Like, no prob. I promise. He snaps at them. He snaps.
Okay.
He's like, I don't have any money. Okay, get out of here. And they were a little scared by this, like, sudden twitchy Norman, who's again usually cool as a cucumber. Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
little eye twitch. He's a little disheveled. And as he turns back to his locker, he's muttering about what money grubbing kids all of these other kids are, which, don't look in the mirror here, buddy. Takes one to
Yeah,
know
right.
one. Um, but behind him, a throat clears, a little cough,
Hmm.
and Norman turns around to find Mo, who, is just leaning against the locker, being like, "Bud, you're looking a little stressed out these days."
Yeah.
And Norman, who's a little itchy, he's itching his neck, pulling his collar a little bit
Yeah.
here, is
Getting a
like,
little stressed, a little
"Yeah, like
anxious.
yeah. Who wouldn't be a little stressed right now? Everyone's after my money. I mean, not that I have any
Mm.
at
Say
all."
that again and
Yeah.
slower.
To the quiet part out loud. Mo is like, sure, Norman. I mean, life might be a little easier if you just took care of all those IOUs that you have.
Hmm.
Norman starts smiling, but not in a, hey, thanks, bud, for the good advice way.
Good
In a,
advice. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And we hear him say, take care of the IOUs. That's what I should do. That's what I will do. And
Uh-oh.
as Mo walks away, because he's like, I've said what I could say. I don't want to be here for whatever's happening now.
As I say, it sounds like
He's
you didn't say the right thing, Mo.
yeah, Mo's
Whatever
like,
that is.
actually, my hands are going to be clean as to whatever happens next. I'm out. I've seen too many twitchy eyes in this town to know what this means.
Something
So,
dangerous is about to happen.
oh yes. So we see Norman grab a walkie-talkie, presumably from the Ace Novelty Company, from his
Mhm.
locker, and he says, Colonel, it's me, the General. Tonight, we launch Operation Get Off My Back. And we see the other side of the
Okay.
walkie-talkie is those little mercenary toys.
Ooh.
And at school that night, the school is shut down. It's nighttime. There are no lights on. Kids are gone, long gone. But we see through, cracks under the doors, some open windows, tons and tons of the toy mercenary soldiers flood into the school, and
Mhm.
they hoist themselves into the lockers of the various students, like through like the slits in the locker, and they start ripping down all of the IOU notes that kids have stuck in their lockers and
Oh.
sending them down to the other soldiers. And we see kind of like little ants carrying all of the IOU notes out of the lockers and out of the school.
Interesting.
And they bring all of them to Norman's house as commanded, as General Norman commanded here, into the backyard where Norman has the grill open.
Oh
And they are
God.
throwing all of the IOUs right onto the grill. And right before Norman fires up the grill, he's like, oh, yeah, I should probably add these, and tosses all of those overdue payment envelopes right onto that grill. He didn't even open
Mm.
them, obviously.
Yeah.
And one of the tanks shoots some rockets at the pile, turns
Holy
on the
crap.
grill. Everything alights in flame. Norman, of course, a little twitchy still, but starts cackling. He's taking care of his problem. No, no questions asked. Good as new, fresh slate. Declared
Yeah.
bankruptcy in America as a
Yeah.
corporation, fresh slate.
Exactly. Golden
And
parachute.
exactly. And he, goes back off to his room. But as the IOUs, the ash, crumbles and blows away in the wind from the small fire he started in his backyard, we see that those envelopes, those overdue payment envelopes, they did not burn up. They are
Ooh.
still as good as new,
Oh
sitting there.
no.
So, a good
And
sign.
so the Moville mystery tropes began.
So, did we mention the psychological torture that happens sometimes in this
Yes.
show? Are you familiar? If you're
Yes.
not, you're about to
You're
be.
about to be.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
always like, how in like the horror movies, there's like the turn is like a plot device. We've entered the
Hmm.
turn.
We've entered. Yes, we are turning.
Yeah, exactly. Here comes the turn. So that night, Norman sleep in bed, sleeping like a baby. Now he doesn't owe anybody any money. He is
Hmm.
woken up by the doorbell ringing and knocking. And he pauses to be like, all right, my parents surely will answer this. There's a stranger at my door in the
Their
middle of
house,
the
not
night.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pay the mortgage. I live here for free, just like
Yeah.
everything else I do in life. But the knocking continues. The lighting kind of gets all blue tinted, and we hear Norman. A
Uh-oh.
classic. We
Uh-oh.
love
Yes. Haunted,
a
soft
haunted,
voice.
disembodied voice coming from who
Yeah.
knows where,
Whispering one's name.
whispering one's name, Norman. So he's like, well, I guess this is for me.
I am Norman.
I'm Norman. Maybe he's just thinking it's BB up to no good.
Hmm.
So he goes downstairs and opens the door. He's a little weary since PJ's here, but he opens the front step and he doesn't see anyone there
Mm.
for a second, that is. And then
Mm.
right in front of him at eye level, because he kind of looked down and around for a second, and right at eye level, Alexis, there is floating, just mid air here. You remember how I said on the back of the magazine there was a voodoo head? The ones that look like they're made of real human skin
Like the
that has their
pygmy.
hairs pulled back
Hmm.
super tight as if they had just been like held up by something and had their heads cut off. You know,
Hmm.
their eyes are completely hollowed out with black
Yeah.
pits. Oh, and there's actually a rope around its neck. That type of voodoo
Oh,
doll head.
sure. I've heard of
That's
that from explicit R-rated movies before.
that incredibly cursed object,
Yeah.
filled with black magic and such. Yeah, so it's currently just slowly spinning on his front doorstep mid-air, saying,
Wow.
Norman. Oh, and of course, the stitched up lips situation, I'm
Oh,
pretty sure is
wow.
going on naturally.
Of
This
course.
murder victim of some
They
variety.
they had to make sure they got the cultural depiction correct. They didn't want to offend the voodoo community. They're like, don't
Yes.
worry, we'll put all the horrible aspects on this for children to understand
To
and
really hit the
see.
point across, to
Yeah.
really be like, don't mess
Yeah.
with this, kids. So, naturally, Norman screams and like
Yeah.
tries to swat it out from midair, as you would probably like
Yeah. Smart
slam
move,
the door
kid.
and run, just like try and hit it and run. But as he like hits it, or maybe he like tries to grab it out of the air, an envelope falls from the sky. And
Hmm.
we hear Mo's voiceover say, sooner or later, we all get our final notice.
Oh God.
But in Norman's case, it'll be from the Ace Novelty Company. And yes, we see that this envelope falling from the sky is indeed the final notice from Ace Novelty Company, which Norman just tears in half. He
Of
just
course.
shreds that shit and runs back to his room.
He's like, oh, good. It was the final notice. So now I'm done. I don't have
I
to
guess this
pay
is done.
anymore.
I
Yeah.
swatted that weird voodoo thing that I didn't order, by the way. So I'm not sure how that ended
Yeah.
up here, but
That's not getting added to my payment bill, by the way.
I
I
did
did not order
not ask
that.
for this. Unless was there like
Yes.
a buy 10, get
Buy
one
one, get
free?
one.
Still,
Yeah.
I don't know on this one. But
Yeah.
again, final notice, they won't bother me again.
Yeah.
Just in case. He runs back to his room and slams his door and locks it
Yeah.
naturally.
Just, you never know.
Yep. But as he does, he hears Norman. And on his desk, of course, we see the voodoo doll head and another envelope that says final notice, a new one on the desk.
Mm. Those
He
liars.
he grabs the head and the envelope, and as he throws them out the window, this is not very funny. I forgot that he said this until I got to this part of the script. He screams, "It said pay later!" And throws it out the window.
We fully psychoanalyzed this kid already. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
know.
fucking knew it. It's from the jump here what his attitude was going to be. And so as he turns from the window and slams it shut, of course, the head is now on a shelf. The hollowed out eyes are now glaring at him. And it goes from his, the voodoo hall, it's, where what we presume is making the noise, goes from Norman, that high-pitched whispery to Norman, but you're gonna pay now.
Ooh.
So it mad. Norman, naturally takes a little stumble back into his room, running into a bookshelf that knocks over a lamp, and the lamp glows up at the bookshelf, where now the head is yet again, and glaring even more says, or else. So naturally, Norman runs over to his bed, presumably to jump under the covers. And he's yelling, why? Why does this matter? What's it to you? Like, who the hell are you? Basically. You're just some toy. But of course, as he then looks behind him on the bed, the voodoo doll head is there. But those hollowed out eyes look a little different now. All of a sudden, where it was just the black abyss of a torturous death, now almost like little irises appearing. We see some little yellow dots. And they look up to Norman, and the voodoo doll says, well, it means a lot to me, Norman, because you see, Ace Novelty Company, and well, I'm Ace.
Okay.
So, owners come to get his due, baby.
He said rent is due. Wow, that was a plot twist. I am Ace.
I'm Ace. I'm Ace, motherfucker. Say what again?
Say what again? I dare you.
English, do you speak it, motherfucker? So, as Norman is screaming that he's broke, he can't pay him back, all of a sudden, Norman, who's like backing up away from Ace, now we know, he remembers he's got all those mercenary toy soldiers around. He's got his own fucking army. So gets a little more confidence here. And he goes, got my own army. I'm not scared of you, some floating head. Blast him. He demands to all of the toys. But these toys move away from Norman. And Ace starts chuckling and says, Norman, these are mercenary toy soldiers. That means they work for whoever pays them.
Oh, God. Also, wild that they just defined what a mercenary is for this children and audience.
2002, like wartime.
Yeah. Like
lots of mercenaries getting deployed on the low here in America.
Kids,
from America.
If you happen to overhear your children talking or your parents talking about the
Black
news,
Hawk.
You may be familiar with the word mercenary. They like spell it out letter by letter. Mercenary, noun, soldiers who work for hire. All right, kids,
deadly soldiers.
Say it with Ace now. Mercenary.
Works for whoever pays us. Yeah. The more you know, Rainbow. But like the rainbow gets shot up by machine guns.
Has whole bullet holes in it.
That's like
in the desert, like in the Middle East. Yeah.
In the middle of the desert here. Yeah. So grim for those writers. I guess, you know what? this is a Canadian show. They were like, whatever,
Yeah, it's
America.
different there.
We don't know what
Things
you're
are
doing down
different.
south of the
Eh?
border. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're staying away from you guys. So Norman though is like, no, no, don't worry. I've got the money. And he grabs the lockbox, which won't open for him now. And as he shakes it, he
Mm.
realizes it's totally empty.
Oh, damn.
Mhm. Ace,
They robbed him.
he gonna get his
Yeah.
money back.
Yeah. And it's
He
still not
said,
enough.
pay now.
Yes.
So Ace looks at all the soldiers who have now crowded around him and says, Operation Pay Up, commence.
Mm.
So the toys, the toy soldiers, the mercenaries now start marching towards Norman, weapons fully drawn, including the tanks, are all pointed at him. And Norman is screaming. He jumps over them, sprints out of his room, sprints out of his house. He's running away from all of this shit, running into the downtown area, the town of Ouija Falls. But
Mm.
every corner he goes, he hears the army marching. He sees the shadows of all the mercenary soldiers. So he ducks into an alleyway, trying to, throw them off. But of course, they're mercenaries. They gonna get the job done so they can get that
Mm.
paycheck. That's literally the
Mhm.
definition of them, as we now
As we
know.
know. Repeat after us, kids.
Repeat after us, kids. And so Norman is now cornered in the end of alleyway. He starts trying to crawl up the brick wall behind him, trying to escape. But the shadows grow larger and larger as they all now overtake Norman, who's fallen to the ground. He's begging and pleading and saying he'll pay. And Ace is just watching in command of all this army, atop like a dumpster or something, saying, no one's falling for that anymore, Norman.
Mm.
And interestingly, unlike some of our other psychological torture, where, the kid just wakes up and it's a nightmare or something like that.
Yeah.
We cut to the next day and we see Mo, Hitch, and BB walking down the
Uh-oh.
street chatting. And they're like, and Hitch is like, yeah, it's crazy. No one's seen Norman anymore. He's just
You just like
gone.
disappeared.
He's just gonzo. And
Weird.
that was either Mo or Hitch. And the other one is like, well, I heard that his parents caught him maxing out their credit card and sent him away to reform school. But don't forget, BB is with them. And he
Oh
says,
yeah.
that's what he wants us to think. I bet he's somewhere
Mhm.
like couched up on a paradise island right now, living the high life.
Yeah.
And as they walk by, they're walking downtown, they're walking to school. They walk by the same alleyway we saw Norman in the night before. They don't stop. It's just a random alleyway. There's nothing to see there. Except that back in the corner where we did see Norman fall and get overtaken, we see a comic book, the same
Mm.
comic book from before. And we see the wind flip the pages of it over until we see the back cover, the same one that has the ads for Ace Novelty Company. But there's a new ad there now, an
Uh-oh.
ad for a zombie slave boy. And we
Uh,
see a very familiar looking boy with his skin peeling off, hunched over in tattered clothes and in chains. And that's the end.
they had to add the chains.
They had to add the chains.
Wow.
So I guess Norman's off at reform school, aka trapped by Ace Novelty
Trapped in
Company
that.
as a
Yeah.
slave now, zombie slave,
Yeah.
for the next unsuspecting kid to order or
To
something.
order. And then he
Yep,
will torture them. Wow.
exactly. That's the end.
Wow. Good job. Amazing
Thank
job.
you.
Oh, oh. It's like we're 50-50 now on our episodes ending with the kid either being trapped in some horrible existence
Yes.
torture for the rest of their lives, or the kids learning a very valuable life
A very
lesson and
valuable
becoming
lesson.
better for it. Yeah.
And Norman has learned no lessons.
I think there's a certain point where evil entity in the episode like realizes that the kids TFG, they're too far gone. Like with the what was the rat kid's name in your episode with all
I
the
can't
pets?
remember. Yep, exactly. He was never learning
There's a
his
certain
lesson.
point where they're like, yeah, he's not learning. He's
not worth
continuing
it.
to buy more and more and abuse more. No, we'll turn him into a rat.
Yeah, we're wasting our energy here.
Norman's still acting like he doesn't have to pay these bills. So nope,
Yeah.
you are now a product of Ace.
Exactly. Now someone is not going to pay for you. Exactly. And like I low key at the end was like, wait, is this also what happened to the other kid? Is like the other kid, like the new kid who
he's somewhere in there too.
Yeah, he's got to be some other ad somewhere in this Ace Novelty company. So
wow.
That's what happened here. That's all I have to say about it.
Kids, I hope you learned a lesson from this. In addition to the definition of the word mercenary, I hope you learned to pay your debts.
And what will happen if you don't pay the mercenaries? They will come back with vengeance.
Exactly. They're about that money. Wow, amazing. Good job. What a good way for you to finish your portion of this arc, because
it got wild.
Yeah, we love to see it. It got wild. We love to see a badass kid getting trapped into a torturous
existence.
I don't want to call it an afterlife. Yeah, existence. It's
exactly. Yeah, and again, the did not expect the voodoo head to be Ace himself exacting his personal vengeance. So I really enjoyed the twist that we had.
Yeah. Ace is not the name that I would pin on a voodoo doll head. That's for sure. It's like threw me for a loop a bit. But they were probably just possessing it, right? Like I don't think.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe it was an eclectic voodoo gang or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Ace was his nickname. Voodoo priest.
He was like the ace of curses and spells. So
exactly. He's doing something cool. So yes, that was my final Moville Mysteries episode, but we'll be back next week with Alexis's final Moville Mystery episode, as we always say, for now. I'm sure we'll revisit this incredible show. But between now and next week, when we're back with our last Moville Mysteries episode, who should our listeners and viewers tell about our show?
You should tell the owner of a novelty store.
Oh, nice.
That's I guess if you've still got Spencer's gifts in your mall, or if you just know one in your community where you can just buy like weird types of objects like in this episode, tell them, because they are sure to love Ouija Falls. So
yes.
Who should they tell?
I think you should tell, your friend, family member, whoever it might be, who always seems a little short for cash when y'all go grab a bite to eat. And always says, you got this, right? I'll Venmo ya. And never seems to come. So, if you're really waiting for that $50 back from the last time you guys went out to dinner, send them this episode. Maybe they'll get the hint or the threat that this episode could also serve as.
The threat, yeah.
Yeah, so you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those not watching the YouTube, we're making punching.
Exactly.
Motions. Yeah, and till next week, we'll see y'all then.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.